Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Jake. Jake is from England in the UK. So let's see what Jake has to say. Enjoy the interview. So, hello,
Fantastic.
Jake. How are
How are
you?
you?
I'm
I'm
very
very
well.
well. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this afternoon for the interview. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
So, tell me, how's your day going so far?
So far, it's a really nice day, really nice, relaxing day. I don't know where you're based, but in England at the moment, it's really, really hot and the weather's really, really nice. So yeah, it's a great feeling. Great feeling. Where are
Yeah,
you based?
I'm based in London, and of
Oh,
course,
you're based in
I
London.
can tell you
Right.
that the weather it's really cool. It's beautiful in London right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So tell me
Fantastic.
where are you based? Where are you from?
So myself, I'm based in Romford, England, and I've been there practically the whole time of my life. I haven't really come out of that area in respects of maybe different parts like Dagenham and things like that, but mainly Romford, to be truly honest with you.
And how far are you from London?
Mm, if I got, I would say like just a train for talking's sake, I would say probably a 20-minute journey from
I,
London, so not far at all.
I see. When, as you mentioned about the weather, when the weather is good, it's beautiful like
Yeah.
today. Do you have like a routine, something that you make the most of it, that you do when it's good weather?
So I must admit, during when it's nice in the weather, I like to go out for a little bit. I like to do walks. I've got funny enough, mine and my partner's dog down here, which is Ruby. We like to take her out as well. You know what? Just enjoying life. Just enjoying life, whatever you can do, like maybe rides and things like this. But nah, the weather when it's like this, beautiful, beautiful.
Amazing. And tell me, what do you do for work, for living?
I'm a self-employed personal trainer and an online coach.
Amazing. So walk me through a little bit about your journey so far, how things got together.
So I will probably go for I would say when I was 18.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 30 years of age at this moment in time. So when I was 18, I got into training from the age of, I would say 16, 17. So I used to play a lot of football. And idols like Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale, they were my idols playing. And it occurred to me that sometimes you have to do the work away from actual football itself. So like the weight training in the gym. And I knew nothing about the gym, knew nothing about training. My very first started off, my first workout was to try and do 100 push-ups, and bicep curls were the most dodgiest form going. So I'd have the biceps and I'd throw them up like this because that's how I thought. And then it was only when I started building a little bit of muscle and people started complimenting me, then I went into the gym for the very first time and learned how to bench. And then I used to go in, do all different types of routines. And I loved the gym. Always from the first moment I did my push-ups, and I couldn't do 100 in a row. I could only
Right.
do maybe like 5 or 6, but the aim was 100 at the end of it. Didn't matter how long it took me, but it was the discipline behind it. And that day, I absolutely loved training. So why I loved it, I wanted to inspire people to do the same as what I did. So
Mhm.
then I took up a personal training course,
Yep.
went for maybe like different jobs at that time. So I was working at like supermarkets and things like that because I didn't know exactly where I wanted to go from then. I
Mhm.
must admit, when I got to around about 24, I had 6 years off due to mental health. I stopped training and everything altogether, my life in total, for 6 years. And the
Wow.
last maybe 2.5 years now, really progressed myself up to the first time where I'm actually working for myself and currently trying to transition from in the gym to online. So that's where I am with my story so far.
That's amazing. I think, as you said, the first time when you kind of fell in love with the gym, when you kind of went for the first time and suddenly you
Mm,
just found something that maybe was missing in your life that you didn't know,
yeah,
and it started a new journey. And I think that's it's fascinating to hear that. Very inspirational,
yeah.
inspiring because
I
you
love
know
it. I love it.
it's great, it's amazing. And tell me, so during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your career and also
Yeah,
about your
sure.
life overall, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we start our journey, within the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Okay, so a little bit about myself. I would say I'm big thing that not many people know about. I'm actually a reborn again Christian. So I was never really religious. We have this interview maybe 8 years ago. No way I'd even bring God up or Jesus up. But now, through the mental health that I had and what I was going through, I found Jesus. Best thing I ever did in my life. Best thing I ever done.
Very good. Yeah. Again, another journey in your life that came along to,
Absolutely.
To put yourself in a nice journey.
Absolutely.
Jake, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go for it.
Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So I've got him a best. Full of random fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, right?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it. Yes, you always can dance with me. Right.
I'm not great at dancing, but I'll give it a go.
Before we start, Jake, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about, some reason you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Yeah, sure.
First question for you is, describe yourself in one positive word and one negative word only.
So one positive word I would say is passionate.
Mm-hmm.
And one negative word I would... I don't know how to describe it in one word, but mood balances. My moods can change quite rapidly sometimes.
I see.
So, I don't know what to say a word about that.
And talking about being passionate, you always been this way?
Absolutely. 100%. If there was something that I wanted to do, without a doubt, you can't do it without having the heart and soul in line together to do it. So like what you're doing right now, in interviewing different people, it's a passion for you, right? It's something that you've always aspired to do. So it goes to show, whatever you do in your life, you need to have heart and passion and a bit of soul into it to get the most out of it. So I've always been the same.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Jake from England. Next question is, 2020 when the world went upside down, yeah? Tell me something that you've learned through that challenge journey. Tell me something positive that came out of those challenging years in the past.
Oh, wow. What a great question. I think during that time, I've got to be honest with you, a lot of people didn't know, but during that 6-year break, COVID never changed at all for me. So COVID didn't change even before that. So how people were living through COVID, I was living through anyway. So what I learned mostly out of it, and I've got to be honest with you, when I was going through that, I found that the best tool was pray. It's something so simple. People, I suppose, might think that I'm crazy for it, but it's what you get behind it that matters. I mean, the reason why I'm such a big fan of it is because of what it teaches you. It teaches you to be honest. It teaches you to be kind. It teaches you to have no fear in what you do. Like, as I say, like this journey you're doing right now, interviewing people, it must be scary for the first time you've done it, right? You're interviewing random people, you don't have a clue, but because you had no fear, look where it's got you. Look where it's got you. So it's no fear. No fear, and that's what it teaches. So I would like to inspire that to others. So I would say that's one positive that's come out of that.
Wow. And in the fitness world, in your opinion, before the COVID and after the COVID, do you think that, fitness and personal trainers and the business, do you think it's changed, or do you think it got better, it got more challenged? What do you think?
Oh, it absolutely changed. I think what changed is when COVID went down, people realized that the only way to really make money when you're down is through online. And through online, even this day, people are starting to realize that they can make money all through online because, again, if we go back maybe 10 years ago, if you were going to own a business, you would have to find maybe rent and property and staff and etc. Now you can set up a Shopify online store, drop ship a few products, sell them out there, and not only you advertising to people worldwide, but if you had a shop you're only advertising to people in an area. So you've only got a group of maybe 100,000. Online, I've got 13 billion people. So I think that's how it changed.
I see. Yeah, it's interesting because before the COVID, I remember hearing some people doing some training online and have some clients. However, during the COVID and afterwards, I just can see people doing that online. Social media, you see a lot of personal trainers, online coaches, just doing their job online, because I think it became a new way of getting fit and looking after yourself and your mental health.
Absolutely.
I think is a different word. People still like going to the gym and going to the park, but however, a lot of people, if they cannot do it for some reason, they still have the option of connect with personal trainers online.
And this is it. They still got the option. And I think a lot of people just like guidance. They like reassurance. So by having that type of reassurance that, oh, this coach has made me this plan, this coach has gave me this nutrition, gives them the confidence to be like, yeah, I know what I'm doing now. So yeah, I think that's how it's changed.
Amazing. Next question. Let's do it. Right. Before the next question, as you already mentioned about, those 6 years that you open to talk about mental health issues you had in the past. When you look back, what's the positive outcome that, you've learned through that challenge journey, if you can share?
So apart from my Christianity beliefs that I learned, but I'm going to go to maybe a lot of people can relate to. So I think the positive thing is actually realizing how grateful you should be for what you've got in your life so far. So I'll give you an example, right? Because this applies to a lot of different people and a lot of different contents. So with me, little basic things. I've got clothes upon my body. I've got food that I can go down the shop and just buy from. I can go out for walks whenever I want to. For someone of, let's just say, someone in a wheelchair. Okay, they may be in a wheelchair and things may be a bit difficult, but at least they can still eat. At least they can still talk. At least they've still got ears to listen to. At least even if they're in a wheelchair, they can still go out and enjoy the outdoors. I think you have to really pay attention to the small details you got in your life. And I think that's what's important, because everyone looks at the glass half empty, but no one looks at the glass half full. Think about it. We've got a roof over our head, so if it started raining right now, I'm not going to get wet. Those small things that you can think about really does change your life massively. So yeah, that's I would say a positive outcome that I've got from that, to be honest with you.
Amazing. Good. Next question is, which person makes you laugh the most?
Oh, wow. Oh, is that because I've got really two? I've got a person that I would say that I've never met, but I watch them online quite a bit. And I've also got a person in my life. So I must admit, me and my missus, we have fantastic laughs. My dad also, from bringing me up, fantastic laughs. Sense of humour is all the same. But the person online who I've never met, Lee Evans, the comedian, really funny. really funny. So yeah, I would say that.
Talking about your wife, your missus, what's the biggest difference between both of you and the biggest similarity?
Wow. Biggest difference, she is fantastic at DIY. So really it should be the man, I suppose, in an old generation that should be great at DIY. No, she's absolutely fantastic. And I've got to be honest with you, I have no idea. I literally have. She will be talking about things that I have no idea. And I have no idea. But the similarities that we have that is absolutely fantastic is the honesty and the trust that we have upon each other. So like, yet again, small things. She could go out to work, and I think the most nicest thing that you could ever think of with your partner, you don't have to worry where they are. You don't have to worry what they're doing. It's just the fact of just sitting back and relaxing and just letting her enjoy her, and vice versa. So when you've got that trust and you've got that honesty, it really, really does work, and you can enjoy the time together, because then there's no negativity. There's no where you've been, what you've been up to, and then trying to ask questions, and it turns into an argument. You can just enjoy. So I'd say, yeah, similarities. We're very honest, very trustful, very loyal. We've always been those type of people. And I would say differences, she's DIY and I'm not.
See, now she's watching this interview right now, and you have opportunity and a moment to tell her something or to send her a message. What would you say?
Oh, the best thing I'd say to it, babe, I absolutely love you to absolute bits. You have been absolutely fantastic for my mental health, and you give me the inspiration to want to inspire others just because you show me what life is to have no fear behind it. So that would be the message that I would give to her.
Wow, beautiful. I can see her
Yeah.
smiling right now.
she would turn around and she'd say, Jake, stop being a snowflake, carry on.
I love
She's brilliant. She's brilliant.
Oh, sweet, very sweet. Next question. Hey Jake, next question is, how do you make friends?
That's a great question. I think the best way to make friends is first of all just going out and speaking to people.
Mhm.
And I also think not being too opinionated as well. So if you're first encouraging to speak to people, if I had an opinion, let's just say you turned around and you said to me, oh, I enjoy walks. Well, no, you shouldn't enjoy walks. You shouldn't enjoy walks. Because you come across as too opinionated, it might throw people back. But if you listen to different people's point of view and their perspectives, I think that builds chemistry and that builds some form of friendship.
Wow. And your best friends, they live around the same area as you as well, or they live in different places?
So my best friend, funny enough, this is I haven't seen him for a number of years. He's very, very difficult to get hold of phone-wise, and I always used to turn up round his house and really, really close. I met him through school. Probably one of my best ever friends. And to be fair, one of my best other friends in family-wise is my cousin. I used to be very, very close to my cousin.
Mhm.
Yeah, but as time goes on, you get older, you find different interests. It's very hard to keep in contact with these people, you know. So not that it's their fault and not that it's my fault, but it's just the way things go sometimes.
Absolutely, and sometimes life can put you together again, and it's gonna feel like it never moved that long. It's gonna feel like you met,
Mm.
you talked like the day before. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
That's how
absolutely.
great. Next question is talking about best friends. What do you miss the most from your childhood and why?
Ah, cool. These are fantastic questions. I think one of the biggest thing that I miss from my childhood, probably freedom.
Mm.
You never realize how much freedom you've got until you enter the adult world. So bills, taxes, work, money, all these things come into your life. But when you're a kid, you don't think about anything like that. All you think about was when can I get the next toy and when can I go out into the playground and play football. So I think the freedom part of childhood is what I miss the most.
And when you think about your childhood, what's the if you could share the first memory that comes to your mind when you think about, growing up? What's the first memory that you remember?
The first memory that I can remember was when I was at school. I wasn't great at football, and I'm talking about when I was the ages of 6 or 7. I played in a tournament, a five-a-side tournament, funny enough, at summertime. And I played in a position that no one ever put me in defence. Never ever played there in my life. I knew myself that
Uh-huh.
I had a fantastic tournament and I was named player of the tournament. And I think just having that over a spell of maybe 100 kids that was there, that was probably one of my most greatest childhood memories. I loved that one because it was the fact that in school, I wasn't great. No one ever looked at me, but I got put into a different environment. And with a little bit of belief and confidence from a coach or someone else, it gives
Yeah,
you that inspiration to become a better self.
absolutely. Ready for another one?
Pardon?
Ready for another question?
Absolutely,
Let's
absolutely.
do it. Next one. Where's your magic box? Where's your magic box? I can
I
see.
haven't got a magic box. I didn't
I'm
realize
just,
I needed one.
I'm just teasing you around. Before the next question, as I can see, how much you appreciate and how much you are grateful for, the fitness that came
Yeah,
into your life.
absolutely.
What's the biggest joy of being a personal trainer? What do you like the most about? And the flip side, what do you find most challenging about the career?
So the most greatest thing, and this always comes to my head, how you inspire people yet again to become best person of themselves. Because when they come to you looking for a coach, it's very easy just to train someone and say, "Ta-da, bye-bye." But I think to really fulfill as a role as a personal trainer, look at the name, personal trainer. You're getting involved with someone's personal life and making it better. So with nutrition, training, teaching someone about daily exercise, difference between training and exercise, and then you can go into scientific terms and things like that. But just getting someone to become the best version of themselves, and bearing in mind it's something that lasts with them for a lifetime, is, I think, probably the best experience that you could ever give anyone. Because if I gave you a bit of advice that made your life seem so much more easier than what it is, that's probably the best compliment you could ever give someone, right? So
Right.
that's on the great side. On the challenging side, I think it can be frustrating when you have clients that have a lot of potential, but they're not willing to fulfill because they fall into the category of falling into desires that they shouldn't fall into. So like chocolate, cake, sweets, not training, that type of stuff. So, but that's something as a personal trainer you have to coach out of the person, and you have to teach them the difference between discipline and things like that. And I think that's what's important, and people don't realize that.
Now, for you, for example, you talk about guilty pleasure. People, they, do have like some tendency sometimes to,
Yes.
let it go and eat some chocolate or pizza.
Yeah.
For you, personal for you, there is something that you find a guilty pleasure that is difficult for you to avoid
Oh,
this. There's
right.
something
Yeah, absolutely. Cereal.
really.
Cereal. So cereal has always been my weakness ever since from a young kid. So cereal can be anything from shreddies to Rice Krispies, even, the new ones that they bring out that are limited edition. So like Reese's Pieces, like cereal, anything like that is always been my weakness. So yeah, that's my weakness, cereals. To be honest with you.
Interesting. Next question for you is, if you met someone sad in the street, what would be your approach or your advice to this person?
So feelings come and go. Don't worry about it. Be disciplined and stick with whatever you got planned in your life. So as we know, truth is, feelings do come and go. We can feel angry one day, we can feel sad, we can feel tired, we can feel fatigue, but those feelings pass. It's dedication that gets you to where you need to be, and discipline.
And when you think about yourself, Jake, when you analyze yourself, what's the biggest joy of being Jake? What do you like the most about being you?
Oh wow. Most I love about being me. I think, you know what I love the most about being me is how the way I think. Um, I It's very hard to explain, but the way I think is not how like other people would think. It's completely
For
around the
example,
block.
for
So
example,
I can only give an example. So this is just a basic example. So if someone went just to turn left, they would turn left. But for me, I think there's another option going right and all the way round.
right.
So instead of people doing the shortcuts, I would find the long way round, and that makes it more challenging. But it's the fact of how did I even think of that way in the first place? So that I think that's one of the joys. I think that's one of the joys of being me, just the way I think and the things I come out with. And because it's so random, sometimes it makes people laugh. So sometimes it brings a smile to people's face. So yeah, stuff like that.
I like that. I like that actually, and actually, it's funny because the way I see things as well. Sometimes I joke with myself if I'm on my like on my own walking, and if I think about something that's something bad or something about me, I start laughing about myself. I go, "Oh, there you
Yeah,
go, you're going there again." So I kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
joke with myself, and sometimes I go
Absolutely.
like, "Am I the only person who has this?" Like sometimes I think about that. You know what
No,
I
you're
mean?
not. You're not. I'm there with you. So no, it's not
three
just you.
three questions left. Let's do it.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, Jake, next question is, tell us about something that you have done that you feel very proud of yourself.
Hmm. It's quite a few that you know what, this is going to be a very random one,
Mm-hmm.
but passing my lifeguarding course. Um, when I was at the gym and before I went on to become a personal trainer, because I was starting up my life again after my mental health. So when I got back into the gym, I was classed as a fitness instructor,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted to make more of an income in, and they always had hours lifeguarding. Now, bearing in mind, the last time I actually properly swum, because there's a difference between going in a pool and just playing to actually swimming lengths.
Yeah.
Last time I'd done any length was when I was 7, 8 years old. So that was like what, 21 years ago, 28 years ago, right? 22 years ago, shall I say, sorry. And when I first got on that course, I didn't realize how intimidating it was. So I got in the water on the Monday, and not only did I have a panic attack and an anxiety attack because I near enough drowned because I weren't good at swimming at all. I was absolute, to be honest with you. It was embarrassing. And bearing in mind, during this time, you had all the parents on the chairs watching their kids swim because the swimming pool was shared for swimming lessons and for our lifeguarding course. So it was very, very packed. Everyone could see. And bearing in mind, I weren't a kid. I was 29 at the time, so last year. And I went home that night and I was really upset. And I said to my dad, I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could do it. And my dad's just always had the influence to just do it, shut up and get on with it.
Wow.
So I went back in at 6 o'clock in the morning, done 6 till 9, practiced for 3 hours, and then done the course from 9 till 6. And I'd done that every single day. On the
Wow.
Sunday, when we had our test, because we had two tests, dry side and pool side. The water side, which I thought I'd fail on, I passed. The dry side, which I thought I'd pass, I failed. So I didn't become a lifeguard. So
Wow.
now I had to wait till after Christmas because I failed it just before Christmas. When everything came back, I passed on January the 10th. And I know it's such a stupid thing,
No?
but it taught me never giving up. It taught me it doesn't matter how bad things are, you just have to persist and carry on. And
Wow.
that for me was probably one of my greatest personal achievements. Just something that basic.
Wow, I've got goosebumps now. My goodness, what an amazing story. And I think your dad, he was a big part of it as well, to kind of not go there and pet you, but he was like, you know what, just deal with it. Do it, you can do it.
Yeah,
And
my
yeah,
my dad's probably the best role model in my life. I
wow,
couldn't ask for a better mum and dad. I really couldn't. They were absolutely fantastic in my upbringing, and my brothers and sisters also.
wow,
Yeah, fantastic. My dad, he always had the time where he knew when to make me laugh. He knew when to be stupid, but at the same time, he knew when he had to say the things like he said there to get the best out of me. And I think that's a good
wow.
thing. So yeah,
That's amazing. You are the youngest, the oldest in your siblings?
I'm the youngest. I'm the baby.
Spoiled
So yeah.
or not? Spoiled?
Oh yeah, massively. Not now, but when I was younger.
That's funny. Two questions left. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Before the next question, back to fitness. Yeah, be a
Hmm.
personal trainer. You deal with a lot of emotions. Yeah, people they share with you a lot of events in their lives,
Hmm.
good events and also challenge events, negativity as well. And I always tell that personal trainers, they are psychologists at the same time. They are therapists because people they share a lot with them. They are doing their workout at the same time as well. They are sharing things, and
I
sometimes
totally agree.
those events that they share, it can be very challenging, can be
Yeah.
very heavy. How do you do to not to block that, not take those, let's say, negativity or this heavy feeling to your personal life? There's a way for you to kind of block that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, again, as I said before, if you think about the small things in your life, nothing else matters. Yet again, as I say, tiny things I will think about, and this helped me out mentally, and this brings me on to my Christian beliefs because the Christian beliefs help and they all correspond with that. So by just having the basics in your life, you think billions of years ago, if we had to get our food, we had to hunt for it. We had to be out in the rain. We had to walk barefoot. We had to actually hunt to get food. This day and age, not only have we got tasty foods that are available if we wanted to, but it's just so easy to go down the shops and purchase. And it's a lot of people have a roof over their head, and I'm talking the average people in England. I'm not talking about worldwide, where third world countries and things like
Yeah.
that. So the way I block it out is actually by trying to help them. And when they see a different psychology on how they can find out to improve on their life,
Hmm.
it gives you that feeling. So I wouldn't necessarily say try switching off, but I would try and help, give advice. And when you can see they've took that advice in and they've used in it, it works. And then that stops you from going into those emotions. But I must admit, I have gone into emotions before where it's gone back home and it's really, really hurt me. Of course I have.
Mhm.
It's part of being a trainer. You have to take that, and it's very much the same as counselling. But it's only, I think, the good personal trainers that do that, that really want to connect with their clients spiritually, emotionally, and physically in respects of training wise. The personal trainers that are just interested in training the client and letting them go on their day, that's for me not personal training.
Amazing. All right. Next question is, what's your spirit animal?
Oh wow, spirit animal. I think my spirit animal is a lion, without a
Tell me
shadow of
why.
doubt. And the reason why I say a lion is the mentality behind it. So a lion would see a pack of elephants and think lunch. So it doesn't matter on the big task at hand, the lion will deal with any situation given available. And it's the same with me. There's a lot of things that I want to accomplish in my life, but I don't look at it as holding back. You go for it because that's what life was made for. Go for the challenges, dream big, think big. That's the point. That's why we dream. That's why we think big. That's God giving us and Jesus giving us the power to go out and accomplish these challenges, you know? So,
Absolutely.
yeah, mentality wise, the lion, I would say.
I agree. Dream big. And sometimes people they are a bit shy to dream big. There's no problem with that. You need to be
No.
ambitious. It's okay to be ambitious. It's okay for you to to think about getting a better life. Improve
Mm.
yourself, being better with yourself as well. And there's not wrong with that. Dream big. Bring about something that you think maybe it's too big. It's not a shame. It's good to that. It's good to put yourself in a place where you can dream big. That's how I see.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Last question. Ready?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, last one. I think you're a good dancer. You're just being modest.
Thank you. I needed that.
Before the last question, through your career as a personal trainer, tell me a moment or a situation that you're never gonna forget. You're always gonna have a special place in your heart if you can share.
Oh, this one's quite easy. So, I have a client at this moment in time that I'm training. He's 12 years old. So I met this client through his mum, and his mum was with another personal trainer. So myself, I have tendencies, I've got to be honest, of maybe ADHD. I haven't got it diagnosed and checked, but I do have tendencies that are very, very much the same. So the mum of this child then recommended the child to me. So I said I'd do a free taster. So he gets to know me, he gets to know what I'm about, he gets to enjoy it. And if he doesn't enjoy the training, she hasn't lost any investment, she hasn't lost anything. So they can go their own way. I trained and he loved it from the first day off. And I trained him for about 4 or 5 weeks. And I had a phone consultation with his mum to say on his progression. Now, I'm not going to go into too much depth on what she spoke about, but she
Was?
turned around and she said, I'd done more for him in those 5 weeks than he ever did of a year of counselling. That,
Wow.
for me, was the best moment I had ever in my personal training career. And the reason why I say that, to help someone so young, just with fundamental basics on understanding what life brings to him, because I treat the gym to him the same as life. I give him tasks that he can't do. I know he can't do it, but I give him things that he can do. But the point of what I'm teaching him is do not give up. At some point, he will get there. You just have to be persistent and dedicated and continue, and you will finally hit that goal. It's the person that's the most persistent and the most dedicated is the one that gets everything that they want to, instead of giving up. So I teach him that in the training, and he takes it wherever with him, wherever he goes. So his coursework, he didn't pass, but it doesn't matter because he won't give up and he'll continue. Other
Wow.
things he got in his life, he continues. But that for me was, yeah, without a doubt, because I see him as a little brother. I don't see him as a client anymore.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Fantastic. Best achievement I've ever had in my life. And I'm still
Wow.
training him to this day.
Wow. And it's interesting because I'm sure you learn a lot with him as well. You know what I mean? You learn a lot.
Absolutely.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, around children, you always learn things that you go like, my God, I need to learn this lesson. For sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Last question is, what's something that's not many people know about you, but we already talked about that, so I'm gonna take another one.
Yeah, sure.
Right, last question for you is, tell me something that your best friends, what do they do that comforts you the most?
Comforts.
Comforts you the most.
Oh, that comforts me the most.
Yeah.
I think when we have a laugh. I think they're on my wavelength with my banter and stuff like that, and I think that's what comforts me the most, because it's never serious. When we go out, there's a chance that I don't have to be serious. If there was a time that I needed to be, they would be.
Yeah.
But because, and this is even the same with my missus, I don't ever have to worry about being too serious. I could be who I am, and a lot of the time, I just act stupid half the time. That's just who I am in mentally, to be truly honest with you. But I think that's what comforts me the most, is the fact that I can go out and literally just have a laugh. And I'm not even talking about drinking or anything like that. I'm talking about just, yeah, it could be just general things, you know, just general things. But it's funny, and laughter's the best form of medicine, as they say. So I love it. I love it.
Very good. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
The first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah, one word.
Success.
Okay. One word for fear.
Challenge.
Family.
Love.
Life.
Care.
One word for love.
Hurt.
Religion.
Proud.
Sex.
Discipline.
I like that. I had over 1,000 interviews on the show so far, and you are the first person who says discipline for sex. I like that. Amazing. Love it. One word for politics.
Enemy.
Friendship.
Power.
Desire.
Wow. I think that'd be my word. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Regrets.
Terrified, I think, first word that comes to my mind about regrets.
Okay. Success.
Amazing.
Wish.
Yeah, again, I think the same thing comes to my brain. I think it's amazing for a wish.
Okay. One word for happiness.
Laughter.
Okay. One word for England.
UK.
Okay. And the last one now. Personal trainer, one word.
Life.
Okay. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your missus for a coffee, and I'm going to ask her, what is the most beautiful thing about Jake, and what's something that he still needs to work on? What she would say?
Cool. I think if you met up a coffee and said, what's the one thing I need to work on, without a hands down, DIY skills.
Okay.
DIY skills, without a shadow of a doubt.
and something beautiful about you, what she would say?
I think what she would say is the love that I give for her. So the care behind it, the love behind it. Whenever I do something, it's for her, it's for the care. And I think she really, really thrives and loves that.
Amazing. Let's play now Jake and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, but before you ask me the question, Jake, people watch this interview right now. Maybe they are facing a situation with mental health, something that you faced in the past. What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
A lot of people won't agree with me on this, but I'm going to say it as it is. Find Jesus. Find God. Without a shadow of a doubt, because when you read things in the Bible, and I'm not going to go too much into it, but if you look at even the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, how beautiful would this world be if everyone followed those commandments? You could take your daughter or your son out to the park at 3 o'clock in the morning and not have to worry about anyone doing any harm, have to worry about anyone stealing your car. And bearing in mind, you can leave the car open. So it gives the world a much more beautiful place. And bearing in mind, Christianity is a symbol of love. So
Okay,
for me, having that, I think would be a really, really good thing for mental health because it also gives you no fear as well.
amazing. Okay, Jake, can ask me a question now?
I love that. So my question that I want to ask you, I don't know whether you have any children or not. I mean, that's
No.
still a personal profile, but if you did have children, what would be the best advice that you would give for your child?
Wow, wow. Great question. I don't have kids. I'd love to have a child. However, I have a 4 years old godson, and I
No.
consider him my son because it's he's the son of my best friends, and
Hmm.
when I think about him, I just can't wait for him to grow up. And
I love that.
the biggest lesson I already have that with me. I can't wait for him to be to grow up a little more, for me to show him and to explain to him that he can be whatever he wants to be,
I
whatever
love that.
he thinks that is going to be good for him.
Mm.
I'm going to be there by his side, support him the best, not just me but his parents as well, and
Yeah,
all
sure.
his family. So the best advice would be, I just want you to understand that you can be anything. Yeah, don't
Yeah,
you're gonna have some barriers in your life. You're gonna have some no's. You're gonna have some people judge. You're gonna have some people point at you. It might be something that's maybe, but always remember that you can be anything, and everything that you're gonna be, whatever is gonna, if you're gonna feel good about it, if it's gonna
yeah.
give you these butterflies, if you're
Mm.
gonna feel the best of yourself, you can
Mm.
be,
I
and
love that.
you're gonna have people around you support you. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what want to be. So that's something that I want to make sure that he's gonna always have that in his mind for sure.
Yeah, that's an amazing, amazing term. I love that. I love that.
Did you enjoy the interview, Jake?
You know what? To be honest with you, I really did enjoy it. I had no idea what to expect. It's the first ever time that I had an interview. I'm hoping to be truly honest with you. I can get more
You
Instagram
have
followers out of this. I'm hoping. So if you are watching and you do put this on, please follow PT Hammatt,
amazing.
Hammatt. And yeah, follow my pages and hopefully you get maybe some inspiration like we done at this interview. What about you? Did you enjoy the interview?
Absolutely. And bear in mind, his name is not Matt, it's Jake, because I thought his name was Jake because of his nickname.
I love it.
That's so funny because when I saw your nickname, because usually people when they make a nickname, they always connect with their name somehow. And when
Yeah.
I saw it, I said, okay, I'm sure his name is Matt, and it wasn't.
No,
When you mentioned, I was like, oh my god, that's so funny.
no,
Anyway, I really enjoyed, Jake. Thanks so much
yep,
for taking the time. Also,
you're welcome.
I'm really glad that you were very open about your challenging time with mental
Yeah.
health, and also
Mm.
because somehow people it's seeing someone recovered of that and see someone talk so open about it. You are
Hmm.
inspire people and show them that whatever they're going through now, there's always light somewhere that's not going to be forever. And
Yeah,
so thanks so much for being so open and talk about that as well. Thanks
you're
for
very
bringing
welcome.
your energy to the show. And before you go, if you can
Yeah.
share a positive message or anything that you live by.
So I would say live by 3 rules that was kind of given by Christianity. I would say live without fear, live life full of love, and be happy with what you've got.
Amazing. Very good. Regards to your family, and you keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Definitely, we keep in touch. Thank you
Take
so
care.
much. Thank you. Take
Jake.
care.
Bye-bye.
Take
Take care.
care. Bye bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye, see you next time.